Ready,
gravity
guys?
ones.
Them ones that will never happen again.
Okay, Billy. Where am I, man?
Undeniably the biggest group in the world right now, One Direction. Thank you very much for joining
Thank
me.
you
fellas.
for the introduction. Thank you very much.
No problems. Now, you guys are in a foreign country where there's like pretty much 1 million people trying to hunt you down. Is that like a head fuck, or is this just your everyday life now?
You said a swear word.
But is it?
Yeah, it's pretty. It can be quite weird, like when you really sit and think about it for a minute. But you know, we're just having so much fun and kind of going with everything. It's been amazing.
So hordes of screaming people is just normalised now. It's part of
No,
every day.
definitely not. Far from. Just, you know, it's just kind of, we kind of try and just kind of go with it, I guess. Still very strange.
Like the breakfast shows we did this morning, for example, like we'd never seen a breakfast show like that before, so
Yeah,
it was pretty crazy. So you don't expect it. That's why it never gets.
You've got to remember, like, it's the first time, like, majority of us have you been to Australia before? No. So the first time
None
all
of us.
been,
All of us. None of us.
First
been
time
to
we've
Australia.
all been to Australia, and like people know who we are here. That's strange.
It'd be mind-blowing, and I was down at those breakfast shows this morning, just sort of scouting around and trying not to look like a creep, and it's like people are crying, and I just think your fans, and I'm trying to find a nice way of saying that they're pretty bloody crazy. You think that's a fair?
I want,
They are, we always-
I won't use
Is it their intent
that word.
sometimes? Yeah,
I
some
think
of
they're
them
just very passionate.
so
I'd say.
excited, yeah.
They're very passionate and they're very dedicated.
Dedicated
and
is
they
what
turn
they are,
up
yeah.
and they're always there. So
It's
we
nice
can't
that
complain.
people care that much, though. You know, enough to cry. 'Cause that's a lot of caring, isn't it?
I think they care even more than that. I was on the internet the other day and I saw some blog, and there's like an audio clip, and it's just of a man grunting, and the caption underneath is "Close your eyes and imagine you're getting rooted by boys from One Direction." I mean,
Rooted, is that a
What does that mean?
Oh, this is awkward. What's sexual intercourse?
sexual intercourse?
You-
Rooted,
you-
that's funny.
Yeah. So in that instance,
She got rooted.
yeah, by the boys from One Direction. So I mean, there's a fine line between, I guess, flattering
rooted.
behaviour and frightening behaviour.
Yeah, that's probably the other side of it.
Do you experience a lot of that firsthand? Frightening.
What, rooting? Or?
You tell me, Louis.
I would never say.
But do some of the fans get really, really intense?
They're all really nice, you know.
You get like odd ones that cry and stuff, and you try to make them, smile and stop crying or whatever. But like, it's not. I would never say that I've felt like
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah.
felt threatened by a fan ever.
Well, all these fans seem to be experiencing the notorious One Direction infection. And I guess it's good because it rhymes, but I actually think there's something really in that. It is quite infectious, and like from a personal point of view, and with all due respect, I was quite dismissive of you guys at the start. I was like, here we go, another boy band, whatever. Fast forward a couple of weeks later, I'm getting banned from a karaoke bar for singing What Makes You Beautiful 4 times in a row. How does that happen? What makes you guys so appealing?
I think it's just the fact that we try and keep it, everything that we do just as real as possible, and we're just ourselves. We're not trying to be anything different. And I think it's an interesting story that we didn't know each other about 18 months ago, and we've grown together and we are so close. People often don't believe and they think this is all artificial, but it's genuine. Like we spend a lot of time with each other, even on our days off. So.
It's interesting you say that because I read an interview with Simon Cowell where he said the most beautiful thing in the world is where you put together a group and it just works. And you can't almost explain why. And I guess that the reason it's beautiful is because there's a risk when you put 5 strangers together that it won't work.
Yeah, I think it's quite easy for people to believe that, like, from an outside circle, that we don't get on and stuff. But we spend like every single day together, and even on our days off, like yesterday we had the option to go out and do what we wanted, but we spent the whole day together on a boat just chilling out and having a laugh. And I mean, it's nice to spend those kind of times together because we're working a lot of the time, and we've all made 4 new best mates out of this, and I think that's what people enjoy out about it.
So you think it's the dynamic together as a group that sets you
Yeah.
apart from all the other sort of boy bands or other groups?
Yeah, I
there's
think
a-
we've been lucky with the music as well,
Yeah.
though, because What Makes You Beautiful is like a catchy tune, like it gets stuck in your head, and like you keep humming it over and over again. So I think we were lucky on that aspect of things as well. We got to work with some amazing people for our album, and we made some what I'd say was good music.
Yeah, and it's really interesting that you raise music, and it's funny because you hear talking about music, but music sometimes becomes an afterthought when you have so much hype and so much hoopla.
No, we were very specific at the start that we wanted to make good music, and we didn't want to rush an album out. And that's why it took so long for us to make the first record, because we wanted to find that, you know, that killer single for our first album. And you know, that kind of changed the whole sound of the album. As soon as you found that song, everything was produced kind of around that, and that's kind of how we found our sound. So we were really specific about it, like I said, and yeah, it's kind of worked out for us.
It is really, really important for us because, you know, we did have the initial hype, but that can often just fizzle out and just be hype. So obviously we needed the music to be good to back that up.
Well, you're obviously number one, so it is working, but how do you sustain that? Because someone might say that when you're on top of the chart, One Direction is down. How do you keep going? What can be next?
Well, we just got to make better music and keep our game up. And I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
just make new goals for yourself.
yeah, just make new goals. And I think, you know, we just want to make, you know, the songs from this album even better than the songs from our last album. I think that's what we're hoping for.
Now, was there a moment with this first album, or even leading up to it, where you knew things were just sort of next level? Like, Harry, was there a defining moment?
Not really. I think like it's been so amazing for us. We just never expected kind of anything that we've experienced so far. I think we just feel so lucky to have such an amazing opportunity, and obviously, you know, the music's really important to us, and we just, like we said before, just want to make each song and each album better than the one before. So, you know, we're gonna have to work hard, but you know, we want to. So
Yeah, we're willing
just
to. We
very
wanna
lucky to have those dedicated fans, and you know, from the start, our fan base was growing, and these fans just seem to be of the same level of dedication. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
So because they grew almost organically, there wasn't almost a single moment where you realised that your life had changed forever.
Exactly, because it just keeps progressing. And
Yeah,
keeps
that's the
getting
Different
thing.
things keep happening every day. Every day is new, and you find something. Like we found so many facts and figures out today of things of how many millions of YouTube hits we've got and sort of stuff. So things that happen all the time. So it's like hard to set your goals when
we
you
always
don't really know
say
where you are
that, you
sometimes.
know,
They're constantly changing.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up.
it's a bad, you know, you don't ever want to get to the point and say I've made it, because then you're just not going to work hard. And
What's the point?
we're constantly setting ourselves new goals, and you know, let's see what happens with the second album.
You keep pushing yourselves. Now, when it comes to the other boy bands, there's a few of them out at the moment. Music tends to go in cycles. Boy bands were really big in the 90s. They're back now. Why do you think now is the right time for it?
Well, I think the main thing about us and why it's kind of working for us at the moment is because we've tried to do something a little bit different with it.
Yeah.
Like in the 90s, it was very structured and like regimented, that you had to dance and you had to wear the same clothes and
It's been really clean cut.
yeah, clean cut and all that sort of stuff. Whereas we've gone completely the opposite way from that, and we're just lads in a band. We are a boy band, and we're just lads having fun on the road and stuff. And I think that's what people enjoy, is the whole like relationship
The
between
realism.
us, the music, how real it is, and how much they can relate to just the normal boys in their classroom, like performing on big stages and stuff. So it's cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny when you talk about not necessarily being clean cut, because Twitter was a flurry yesterday, Niall, because you were caught
Hilarious.
with like a smoke in your hand and then making wanky motions on a boat.
That sounds so
We're
much
just
funnier
excited
when
we
you're
got number
accent.
one.
Well, I mean, we talk about boy band cliches and what separates them. Like back in the past, not so much now, but it used to be about picking your favourite. Are you going red? No. Okay, about picking your favourite member and each one being sort of different and being like a mould. Like you've got the sensitive one and the one who's good to his mother and the bad one and all this one. And I was going to make a joke about who's the bad one, but now I know, Niall, it's you, mate.
And I was the bad man.
Nah, he's a bad one.
I'm the bad man.
Nah, he's a closet bad man.
Cutting loose. Well, one thing you don't have, which I think all boy bands need, is the Joey fat one for Tone from NSYNC. He's the one there he's not as talented and he's kind of ugly and a little bit hairy. So I'm going to put it to you as my final question. Is there room for a Joey fat one for Tone in One Direction?
I think there's
I think there
always
is.
I
room.
think you're in.
I'm going to join this side of the...
There we
But
go.
don't put yourself down
Smile
too
for the
much.
photo.
There we go.
families.
One Direction is now a six-piece. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you. Thanks very
Thank
much.
you.
Cheers, man. Thanks.
Thanks, Harry.
you, mate.
Thanks,
All right,
Louis.
lad.
Thanks,
Nice
Niall.
to see you,
Thanks,
buddy.
mate.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much. Very
Liam.
much. Very nice to meet you.
Thanks, Zane. Thanks for
how's
sticking
all the
around
names?
too.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Oh, look. Oh, do you mind if I get a quick photo? Because I am a bit of a mega fan. Oh, yeah, shit, sorry. Yes. And I was surprised.